comes round again. Right hand start. Goes it there. You're on solo now, so get it right. And promenade. Twos, keep going. Keep going.
Food after this song. I can't do the siren. Last orders for second to the first floor. Last orders on second to the first floor.
Looking at that for, Ken? Make sure I get it up.
Caroline.
Folk singer basically from Norfolk. I do all over the country in Hong Kong as well. That's the international bit. And I've come along to do a bit of singing in there. I actually thought that was Barton in Norfolk. I didn't realise that had come all this bloody way, but now I'm here, I'll do a bit. But the thing is, thinking that was Barton in Norfolk, I thought I'd better do a few fishing songs. And that's what... Got a few fish in tonight then, have we? Yeah. It's like an East Coast fishing song, you know the sort of thing I mean? Because usually they're about herring. heron the fish. Well, not heron the bird, that's important to know the difference. Especially if you set out from Great Yarmouth with a bloody great boat full of nets and things, because you're wasting your time. If you're hoping to get birds, you're wasting your bloody time. Now, heron the fish, and the heron the fish years ago, I don't know if you know this, used to set off every year up around Scotland somewhere and come swimming all the way down the coast of England, right down to like Yarmouth and Lowestoft and places like that. And all the heron boats used to go after them. And no one ever knew why the heron done that. And that's recently been discovered, due to some research, that what it was, that was because the bloody heron boats were chasing them. And the proof of it is that since the heron boats stopped chasing them, we don't get no heron down our way at all now. But this is not a heron song anyhow, which is what I was trying to tell you in the first place. This is a whiting song. You got any whiting fans in tonight at all? One over there. Well, this is for you then. Yeah, song called The Shoals of Whiting. And it's got a really nice chorus, what you can all do. And I'll tell you how it goes. That goes, though the wind did blow, we searched high and low. We were looking for the shoals of whiting. But years ago, there used to be lots of boxing songs at one time. And I actually had a relative of mine who was a boxer, that's Gripper Kipper. He was the last of the bare-knuckle fighters, as a matter of fact. He gave it up when they invented knuckle dusters. Well, he had to, that killed him, as a matter of fact. And I'm talking about years ago now, I'm talking about the days of the boxing booths, who was a militant branch of the Salvation Army. They used to go around beating people up for Jesus. They used to come in my little village of Trunch, they used to come into the village and they used to go from street to street knocking on people's faces. It's known as the laying on of hands. After a while people got a bit wise to this, especially when they heard the band coming. Because they weren't up to a lot, because you can't play much on the trumpet with boxing gloves on, can you? So people used to bugger up out of the way, and that sort of died away. And well, that was made illegal eventually, but even that couldn't make it popular, and that died out completely. So. Anyhow, that's nothing to do with it particularly. But this is an old boxing song called Queensberry Rules OK. And on here, I am going to feature a musical instrument, of which I am the leading exponent in the country, not to mention the world. And what I'm talking about, that's what they call charisma. Yeah, what I'm talking about is the walnut shells. I'll just get them out here. Now this is interesting. This is an old traditional walnut shell carrying bag, such as are knitted on the long winter nights by the women at Trunch. Until recently these were thought to be very rare, as a matter of fact, but it's recently been discovered that a lot of people have got one of these at home and think they've lost a sock. So you could have a rare antiquity in your own house. Now in here, I've got the walnut shells. Now it's a very simple sort of instrument, look, you can see that's just like a walnut here and some knicker elastic. I mean,
Not thick enough.
You speak personally or what? No, you just put the nickel. I mean, obviously walnuts are easy to lay your hands on.
What about nickel elastic?
That's your problem, mate. You don't even know how thick it should be. I mean, put the two together anyhow, like this, you see, and you get a musical instrument. It's quite an old instrument. Nobody knows where they come from, actually, because that's not the more interesting half, actually, as a matter of fact. No, where the instrument come from, because the Romans brought the walnut in, but they who used to like play them to attract a crowd. And some people say that they was invented by a bloke called Hereford the Wake. who lived in the fens and fought against the common market. Mind you, some people say that Cyril Cockle was eaten by a giant pink hedgehog on his way home from the Old Goat Inn one night. So I shouldn't take any notice of what any of them say about you. We'll do this up. And the chorus goes, and sing out hurrah, sing out hooray. They may have been stupid, but still they were brave. Well, that's not much. Well, he's doing all that, but unfortunately, someone had left the trap door open. Now, he was lucky because the tide was in. So he had a soft landing. And being an old pro, when he came up the third time, he carried on singing the song. And the band whipped out the back and played over the side. And both the audience went out to look. And that was going really well as he slowly drifted out to sea, singing this song. Until they decided to launch the lifeboat after him, because he was just passing the end of the slipway at the time. So we woke up the next morning in the hospital with a sort of lifeboat-shaped hole in the back of his head. And he opened his eyes, and there at the foot of the bed was the theatre manager. And he looked at Jimmy, and he said, "We'll keep it in." So he done it every night for the whole summer season. They slipped the lifeboat of food bowl for the big finish. Well, except the last night they didn't bother because they didn't need him back, obviously. When he went on his Dutch tour, as a matter of fact. But anyhow, the whole point of this story is that he never got to do an encore. Because he was always unconscious in the lifeboat at the time. So I am going to do you his encore, what he never got to do. And that's like a medley of his greatest hits. And you'll know some of them, so join in if you know them. And don't if you don't. But you can't really. Well, you make fools of yourself, really. I'm going to play the accordion. This is the accordion. Sorry, I forget people don't know all these things. It's an accordion. It's not a big one, that's just quite a modest size one. Size don't matter with accordions anyhow, so which you'd know if you ever met him, because he had a wooden leg. He always had it with him. He used to use it for like nailing up boxes and playing snooker, stuff like that. We never did find out whose it was, as a matter of fact. He always had it about him. And what he meant was you get loads of these old songs about like fishermen, we done one of them, whalermen, navy. But he said you never get no songs about all the people what were looking after them people, all the service industries. People like the floating doctor, or A1 windlass replacements. Used to go out and fix your windlass on the insurance if you broke one. Or the people I do a lot of charity work for, which is the RNLIB. That's the Royal National Lifeboat Institute for the Blind. I used to be out there looking for their members. But this is not about any of them. This is about a hairdressing ship. Well, no, because if you think about it, years ago, these sailors, they were out in these old steam, sail-driven things. They was out there for months on end being tossed on the briny. And that used to make a terrible mess of their hair with the wind and the scrub. When they come ashore for the doxies, they wanted to look their best, didn't they? So these hairdressing ships used to fly about out there, whip on board and trim them all up. That's it. That's the general idea. And that's what this way. And it's got a little one-line chorus, what you can do if you like. What just goes, with a hey and a ho and a wash and go as we comb the Spanish Main. So feel free to join in on that. Oh, and I'm going to play this instrument here, which is very important, because this is an old Icenic instrument. You know the Iceni. When the Romans come, there was the Celts and the Iceni. The Celts buggered off west. And the Iceni done the decent thing and set fire to Colchester. And got massacred. Well, they were led. I seen they were led by a relation of mine, Sid Kipper. She was a very, very famous woman, fought against the Romans, but she also invented the combine harvester as well. Neither here nor there. But anyhow, the thing is, the Celts buggered off, and we still get all that bloody music, but we never hear hardly no scenic music at all. And I'm reviving it. And this is an instrument called the English barang. I'll get it out. There's a much quieter instrument than the Irish. In fact, this is the only sort of this sort of drum what is approved by the Noise Abatement Society. I'll play it on here. That's got another advantage which you won't get away straight away, but you can read the words through this one as well. So I'll finish you up with this. I'll do a little introduction on the barang, then I'll go into the number, and we'll go with a hey and a ho and a wash and go, and then it'll be nice. With any luck. Just get myself. Because you've got to make that one hit that one, you see. Well, I didn't want to take anybody totally by surprise. Yeah. That's quite hypnotic, I nearly went off there. Spanish main! Thank you very much indeed! Drunk till I've finished. Well, just one more, then you've got to do some dancing. That's no good, you can't put it off any longer than that. And I'll do a big chorus one, what you can join in. And you don't, oh yeah, you do need to know one thing for this song. And that is that in my little village of Trunch, where I come from, Friday night is women's quiet night in. No, they're very strict about it. If you go to Trunch for Friday night, about 7:30, 8 o'clock, you'll see all the men wandering around the lanes, wondering where to go, having been thrown out of the house. Well, there's only two places to go, really, and they don't really fancy Friday night in the church. So they tend to get in the old goat inn, and they obviously you have to buy a pint if you go in, so they get a pint and they sit and make it last as long as they can, till it's time to go home again. But old Ernie Spratt, the landlord, has worked all this out. So what he keep putting the clock back. So just as they finish their pint and look up to see if they can go home now, they realise they've got ages to go, they have to have another pint. Well, let's go on till about 4 o'clock when Ernie get fed up with it, and they haven't got any money left, so he lets them go home then. And of course they get home totally unintentionally drunk and late, and then they get in trouble at the other end, having suffered all the evening in the pub. They suffer when they get home. Well, what they do to put a brave face on it, they pretend they set out to go and get drunk in the first place. And that's what this song is about. It's a song called Rollin' Drunk. And it's got a really good chorus. I thought we'd finish it. And the chorus goes, there's only 5 words. Well, there's only 5 different words. Anyway. It goes, rollin' drunk, we will get rollin' drunk, we will get rollin', catch a few people out, we will get rollin' drunk. Yeah, so if you'd like to ever go that, by then we'll all be singing that lustfully and that'll be really nice. So, thank you very much for having me. All that old squid. I say, no excuse after this, you've got to dance whether you like it or not. Right, isn't it? Because these people are getting fed up looking at me.
And now, as during the war, sweets were very scarce, and we've given it to the fattest sandbag, Nelly. also very, very scarce during the war, and so we've got a whole load of smells for the person who smelt the highest tonight, Ken! And now the star prize for the silliest uniform. He came as an airfield, complete with aeroplanes, carrot for night flying, Roger Filippo! No. A prize here for the biggest spiv. And although this is very cheap, he will sell it as something extremely valuable. The spiv himself, you can buy a watch, contraceptives on the inside of his jacket. Marcus Webb! Hey. Thank you. Now coffee for the most boring person here who hasn't come dressed up in anything. Duncan!
He's left!
He's gone! No! John, you can have it! Who are humming a bit. And if you're as near Sid Kipper as me, Sid Kipper!
Flavour is it?
What other prize can we have?
Sweetest person?
What?
Sweetest person?
The sweetest person. Mrs. Filippo! And now we've got a game. Oh, there is something else too. There's some elastoplast. And so it's been for the worst dancer tonight because she stood on my foot.
Keep it, Robin.
Now, before we quickly do the raffle, because we do want to do some more dancing, as Sid said, he has got some cassettes. They're very good, and he'll have them up here afterwards. If you from Trange, it's better than Trange Market here.